So we come to the final showdown for the Banshee BYPE. Well, certainly for assembling the various parts of it. I've taken the liberty of following my own instructions for the spinner and prop, and attached that off camera, seeing as I showed it on the Banshee Air Race, and obviously it's the same thing. I've got a nice grey prop here, but you may well have a black prop in your box. We used both types. This is a 45, a GWS 4530, and the same spinner as the one that went on to the Air Race. Obviously we've got our electronics installed, and we've got our struts on, and the connectors for the ailerons to the top wing. We've constructed our top wing, our hatch as well. So the next stage, really, we'll leave the hatch on. It doesn't really matter, you can have a hatch on or not. The next stage, obviously, is to pop the top wing onto the main body of the aircraft. Now, probably the easiest way to do this, we've already punched a couple of holes through the wing in constructing it, so to show us our positions for these little spikes that protrude from the top of the struts. Now, I'm just going to fold those sort of the attachment wings down so they're at least flat, if not slightly over, and the same in the center as well. And if I then position, it's going to be difficult to show you, but I think it'll be fairly self-explanatory. Turn the wing over so that our little slots are exposed here. You may not have anything in the center here at the moment, but the central spike on the cabane strut here will actually show us the way. We've just got to make sure that it's centered, because obviously we've got some flex with these interplane struts. So we just flip it over and just align the spikes on the interplanes with the slots that we have there. You may want to open them up a bit. I'm just using the back of the knife, so you may need to. I think I've probably already done this in practicing, but you just go in with the knife and just sort of wiggle it around a bit, open them up somewhat, and then the idea is that we place both interplane struts into their respective slots, like so. This is just a dry run at the moment. So left and right, and then there should be enough friction there to hold on, and we can flip the aircraft over like so, and then just make sure that our struts are on both on the vertical, centered, and that the interplane is sitting centrally on the top wing on the underside, like so. And then we can just press down a bit just to create a little dent where that slot's going to go. In fact, mine's gone all the way in, so that's nice. So that shows us where that's going to go. And then we just need to glue everything in place. So you'll notice that the linkages for the aileron are just sort of dangling loose at the moment. That's fine. We don't need to do anything about that at the moment. So let's just remove that now. And what we're going to do is just apply some glue to manage to fold those in rather than out. So we're just going to apply glue to the tops of these struts. In fact, I'm going to do it in sequence. I'm going to firstly put some on the center there now that we've got the position. Just adding a fairly generous amount if if my old glue would allow. There we go. And so I'm then going to take the top wing, just sit it in that central slot just there, disregarding the interplanes at the moment. And I'm just going to let that, I'll just turn it upside down and let that set in place until the glue has dried, and then we'll come back and we'll put the interplanes into place. So I think we've probably given the glue enough time to set, so let's just bring these two parts together. Make sure we haven't got twist in the wings, so each wingtip should be sitting above the lower. That's it. That's all glued in nicely. I'm just going to turn that over and just using an implement. It can be I've got tweezers here, but it could be the back of the knife or even the ball tool, just pressing down those flanges at the side just to make sure that they're sitting on the wing. So you can see that's now nice and glued up. There we go. So now, because the interplanes are nice and flexible, I can bend it away from the wing, add the glue, and then bring it back and pop it into position. So I'm going to do that on each side. I really do need to get some more glue. This is coming to an end, this one. And obviously you can be pretty generous with the glue here, but obviously also be careful you don't get the glue all over the place, and to get that into those slots there. That's it. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Quite a generous amount. Like that so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So while they are setting, we can also take stock of our aileron situation. Now, hopefully, if you've built this correctly, then those little connector rods there should fit nicely in position on the wings. This one's poking through a little bit further than I'd like. Let me just see why that might be. That's because the wing has moved back slightly, so it's tilting forward. So I think what we'll do is we will just pop the plane upside down for now and let the interplanes set in place, and then we will come to attach our aileron connector rods. So we've given it some time, and the glue's now dry. So if I flip over, I can now take my connector rods and then just pop them through the holes here. Now, you might find, as I did, that one protruded a little more than the other, and so I just measured the tips and the distance between the two, and they were even. I think it was around about 6.3 or 63 millimeters. So there was a little bit of a twist on the wing itself. So all I did was, because this material is quite flexible, I just sort of manipulated the wingtip up this end where it was protruding more, and down this end where it was protruding less. So it evened them up, and actually just eyeballing the wing, it just looks a lot better now than it did before. It was only minor, but it was brought out by the difference in the two there. So we might still have to do a little bit more twisting and jiggling around, but that's a good indicator of where you are when you've got these ailerons connected. So obviously we haven't got them connected yet. What we need to do is exactly what we did on the bottom of the wings there and there. Is we need to create two little 6mm, 7mm long pieces of wire, and we have some stickers that we can then finish the whole thing off with. So let's cut a couple of these. There we go. So one, two. There we go. So I'm going to put a couple of blobs. Let's just move that out of the way for now. So I've moved that out of the way. Just going to put a couple of blobs of glue either side of the hole in the aileron. Then pop the control up through. Grab my bit of wire. And then just pop that through the hole in the top of the linking control rod thing. Like so. Even it up, give it central. We go, and then we have the last of our stickers. And this will be on this side, which is port side. This will be looking at the graphic, because there's a representation of the graphic here. That looks like S18. So let's remove S18. Take out that central piece there. So, and then apply this. Try and line that graphic up as well. I think it might not be exact, but there we go. So there we have our ailerons now linked. As you can see there. So at the moment there's a little bit of up on that and a little bit of down on the lower one. So we probably need to just twist this wing a little bit further up to bring them to balance. We'll have a play with that later, and we'll just do the other side. So there's my little bit of wire. Just pop a little bit of glue either side of that hole. Control through, then pop the wire through the hole. There we go. Once again, try and position it exactly the same place as over on the other side. And on goes the sticker. So this is a 17 on the starboard side. Go. Let's push that down into place. So we have that linked now. So this one, you can see it's fairly even on that side. This at the moment, the aileron at the bottom is slightly down, and so is this, but they pretty much line up. So we've just got a little bit of work to do on this this wingtip here, just to even these up. So I'm just going to just manipulate the tip so it twists up slightly, and as you can see, they are now evening right up. There we go. So that's spot on. Fantastic. So if I get the hatch, pop the hatch on, there we go, and we have one completed biplane.